Hello, Cleveland, and everyone from everywhere else. Welcome to your 10-minute TA for Sunday, May 11th, 2025. Before we get started, thank you for you people who have been viewing this video. I see them views. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, can you please give me a like? It would really help out the channel. And I don't have any cute animal pics, but I promise that if you comment on the video, then I will answer every single comment that comes in on this video. All right. So without further ado, let's dive into the charts as our week has come to a close and we are moving on to a new week. It's been a good one. It's a good week. This week that closed has been a good one. I'll read you the numbers. These ones up here. Open. Our week opened at $94,394, reaching a high of $104,000. Well, let me do it this way because it got to the low first. 94,000 open, 93.4 low. And then it shot up to a high of 104,961, bringing it in to close at 104,118. Dang. 10% move from open to close. Not bad. Not bad at all. I bet those stock boys are drooling when they look at these charts. Anyways, let's take a look and see what's going on here. Well. Stokes are overbought. That's the first thing that pops in my mind. Okay, Stokes are overbought, so that means that we might see a little bit of a reversal, maybe. But not necessarily. They could get stuck there depending on how the daily goes. Our cup and handle didn't really cup and handle. Cup has kind of grown actually. It's still a cup. So perhaps our handle will, move up as well. Handle. And then we would take the measured move. It needs to be retaken now because our shoulder line, top of our cup's up there. And then our measured move would actually bring us up to about 122 and a half. If it played out, that'd be amazing if it did. I would love to see a new all-time high. Relatively soon. That would be probably sometime in June if it did happen. Well, if it did happen in this way, like it could happen in a different way too. Like this bull flag, right? If you drew it from here instead, well, then the measured move would be right there up to about 119. Same but different as the measured move for this cup and handle that we're seeing here. Now, if you take the bigger move, that one, as we know, plays out to about 150. That's right, 149,791, 150. And our bull flag, it came down to that 618 just a few weeks ago, bounced right off it real well. I tell you, the 618, that is a bounce spot. That's a very common bounce spot for when retracement is happening. So yeah, now what are we watching? Well, we're watching RSI is strong. Stokes are overbought. So we're watching for a bit of a downside, maybe forming this handle as the Stokes come down a bit back into bullish territory up here, and then maybe finding a bottom and bouncing back up, or completing their oscillation, or even better yet, depending on what the daily does. We'll get into the daily here in a minute, but perhaps it'll just stay stuck up here like they have kind of back here on in November as things kind of jumped up. This is back in November of 2024. Things kind of jumped up there. RSI got overbought. Stokes got stuck in overbought, and the market moved up. That was after price bounced off that 50, which is what we saw happen right here, just like 5 weeks ago in April. Bounce off that 50 moving average. That's what that orange line is. It's the 50 moving average. Bounced off of it, and then we came up to new all-time highs. Mentioned this last week too. We've done it twice this bull run. Bouncing off that 50 moving average, 50-week moving average, and then moving on to all-time highs. New all-time highs. Yeah. So I'm bullish on the weekly, in all honesty. It doesn't mean that that's going to happen. It's just seems to be the more likely scenario that the charts are telling us is going to happen. I mean, of course, downside can happen. Anything can happen. But the charts are saying that we're going to see more upside, at least here on the highest charts like the weekly. But that, of course, can change depending on what happens like here on the daily, which is where we'll start on our littler charts, our smaller time frames. Daily's overbought on the Stokes as well. So unless the Stokes here on the daily get stuck in overbought territory as well, that weekly Stoke is going to start coming down as well. And that will drag RSI and price down as well. Well, most likely will do that. Because, of course, like I said, this is a game of probabilities. There's always a chance that the opposite happens. No matter how little of a chance, there's still a chance. It's a crazy market we are playing games in. Not games, but you know what I mean. It's a crazy market we're playing in. Let's stick to the daily, actually. Okay, so overbought. We've moved up. We're far from the 21 moving average, the 21-day moving average. Over the 200 again. Heck yeah. Could be seeing a golden cross coming up in the next day or two. That's when the 50 moving average, the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, crosses it, moving to the upside. We got a death cross a little bit ago, like here back in April, as we hit those bottoms there. The early April lows. So yeah, we got a death cross there, but we bounced back from it. So will we see another golden cross? If we do, that's a really good sign for bullishness, and it kind of stokes the flames of our hopium. Anyway, I still think there might be a retracement. That's just the more likely situation. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. The less likely situation of continuing to move up into the right may happen still. That's what we talked about yesterday in yesterday's video, that we really can't move up into the right forever, which is what we've been doing since early April. So we just can't. We just can't move up into the right. Like, it's very unlikely that that's what's going to happen. That we're just going to keep moving up into the right and blast through all-time highs and 2 new all-time highs. But anyway, so let's see this retracement. Let's see a higher low. We've talked about this before. Higher than 77 at the worst. Hopefully these other lows can hold up for us as well. Hopefully these support structures can hold up for us as well. 99.6 being the one directly below us. But yeah, this downward trending wedge does look like it's playing out. I can actually draw this out. Draw from there. Make it blue. There we go. That would be the top of the upward trending wedge, and then the bottom trend line would be there. So you can see this downward trending wedge has turned into an upward trending wedge, and usually they go back to where they started, which is right around here. If you count the wick, 108, 109, our all-time high. If you don't count the wick, it's back down here around, I can tell you exactly, 106, 155, but 106. So yeah, we're right around that point right now. So this is decision time kind of for Bitcoin. If it goes higher, hell yeah, let's see another higher high. If it doesn't give us another higher high, then we might end up seeing a double top scenario. Complex one, if you want to count it that way, is these two, 1, 2, and then the third one. But really, it's more like a double top like this. 1, 2, and then that would play out back where it came from, which is way down here at about 67. Ouch. But yeah, I mean, that's what we would be seeing if we kind of got even just a little bit higher. Anywhere from like here really to our all-time high. We would be printing a double top at that point unless we got a new all-time high. So we kind of need a new all-time high to tell us that this bull cycle is still continuing into like a super cycle, as people are calling it, an extended bull cycle. But if we don't get it, it's not necessarily meaning that the bear cycle is here and we're going to keep going down, because again, we can still see a higher low and then continue upwards from there. But yeah, we'll watch, we'll see what happens. I think more likely than not, we're going to see a little bit of a pullback. Let's move down to the 6-hour chart. We're still seeing our bull flag intact here. Adjust it just a bit. Oops. That's what I want. Adjust you just a bit. And yeah, I mean, same. Not much difference. Adjust this a bit too. Just pull it out. Nope. Yeah. All right. Stokes oversold. RSI not in overbought territory anymore. Hanging out in bullish territory. The signal line is overbought though. So yeah, that's like an average line here. If that signal is still stuck up kind of in there, it usually wants to come back down. Now, it doesn't mean that price action will come back down. They could keep going sideways like we saw here in April. So maybe we'll see that same dang thing again. Maybe. Otherwise, we'll probably see a little bit more downside before we see more upside. Oh, I do like that the Stokes are oversold, though, because that means that the daily Stokes might get stuck up there if these turn around. The Stokes here on the 6-hour turnaround. And that brings us to the 90-minute, which kind of tells us what's going to happen tonight/tomorrow. And here on the 90, Stokes are also just coming out of oversold territory. However, you'll notice that the Bollinger Bands here are squeezing tight on this on the price action here. Price action's just been bouncing very tight range. It's kind of came out a little bit here, tried to break out to the upside, but couldn't. Fell back into the range, and look, the bull bands are squeezing again. So now we're just looking for a breakout. I mean, it's gonna happen. When there's a squeeze, a breakout's coming. The question is which direction. The Stokes being down here is good, because that means that their oscillation to the upside may be coming, but it could always fall down. It's more likely that it'll start going up, and seeing the RSI kind of staying in bullish territory here is good. However, it is still under its signal line, so watch for it to break to the downside still. There's still a possibility of that. Let's take a quick peek at the 22. Also low Stokes. So these might turn around here and start their oscillation to the upside. Also tight Bollinger Bands. So breakout to the upside possibly indicated by the low Stokes. But we do still have that bearish div there. Let's go back to the 90 real quick. We still do have this bearish div. So watch for that Bart Simpson to happen. As long as that as long as we stay over 105, then we'll count this bull flag as valid. It really wouldn't be a bull flag at that point. I mean, it would just be like a Bart Simpson at that point. We'd have to call it what it is at that point. Anyway, I'm going a little bit long here. Basically, we're in a squeeze. We're going to break out probably tomorrow, maybe the next day, probably to the downside, but maybe to the upside, but more likely to the downside. But then again, I've been calling for a pullback for a little bit now, and it just hasn't been happening. That less likely scenario has just keeps on keeping on, keeps on playing out. Did I adjust that bull flag? Let me adjust this bull flag a little bit. Let's pull that out. Pull that out. And move the measured move a little bit. Measured move moved a little bit. It's up over 107 now. And we'll pull out this fib a little longer. Even though, honestly, if it comes down to there, the fib is no longer really going to tell us that that bull flag is invalidated. Because at this point, if it just drops like that, with the way that it's been tight like this, we're going to have to count it as invalidated. Break out to the downside. It'll just be a Bart Simpson at that point. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry for going a little long. Music, as always, courteously provided by Luminous Villoa and Sasquatch. You guys are awesome. Much love. Give me them likes. I will see you tomorrow.